What's up, everyone? This is KTD Sports. I'm Bill Whyte. With me, as always, Devin Pinckney.
What
What's
up?
up, Devin?
Another glorious day. It's Friday, though, instead of Thursday, as my dog knocks my head wire down. Doing good. The weather's turning around.
Yep, it feels like spring
Draft's getting
finally.
closer. Spring means draft, and that's why we're here.
That's right. Because less than a week, we got the NFL draft. So we've gone over wide receivers, we've gone over quarterbacks in previous videos. You guys can check them out if you haven't seen them. And now we're just giving you the mock draft. We're giving you
Everything.
all our research and all our number crunching over these last couple months. This is what we've come up with. So I got my mock draft. Devin's got his mock draft. We're gonna go right down 1 through 32, team by team. We're gonna give you our picks, and yeah, see what you guys think.
Sure.
So Devin, we'll go number one with the first pick in the 2022 NFL draft. The Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Who do you got? Who do you think the Jaguars are taking number one overall?
So the thing is, the mocks, it's not what you would do, it's what you think they would do.
Exactly. What do you think that they're gonna do?
So in this sense, just gonna go with Aiden Hutchinson because it's been, like you said before the show, it's kind of steamrolling as that's the consensus as we get closer. I mean, I have my own gripes. Like, he has good tape and he has bad tape because he does have shorter arms. So it comes to issue when you have longer arm tackles. They can really jam him up from a distance.
Comes the T-Rex.
Kind of take him out of the play, which he's very talented. That doesn't happen often, but you can see, like, maybe what does that issue continue in the NFL when you're going against 6'8" tackles or the likes, like a Trent Brown, like a Mekhi Becton. I mean, he's like 6'4", but he's 3-something. Like, he's solid. But I think he put together a great season. Michigan went to the playoffs off of their defense, certainly not their quarterback and their offense. But that seems like the motion as we get closer to the draft.
Yep. I agree. I think that they're also going to take Aiden Hutchinson. That's who I have here, number one. Seems like the consensus pick at this point. Because, like we were talking before the show, you were saying that they have Josh Allen. They already have a legitimate pass rusher. And they have other needs, on that team, like a lot.
You have a number one overall quarterback that when you're number one again this year because you couldn't protect him.
Yep.
They addressed the weapon situation somewhat in the offseason with Kirk, Ingram, and others to bolster the offense, but still no one to keep him on his feet. And you need the stability for a young quarterback. He can make plays running around, but you don't want him to do it because he has to.
Exactly. Yeah, so it might not be the smartest pick, but
Jag's gonna jag.
Exactly. What happens in Jacksonville, everyone laughs at. Next, number two, the Detroit Lions. This is where it starts getting right after that. This is where it gets interesting because, who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? This draft was wide open.
It is. I bounced between a couple picks, but I think I'm gonna lean. I think Sauce Gardner. It might be polarizing to get him at 2.
You think Sauce? Yeah.
You're astonished.
That's high. I thought for
it is.
Ahmad Sauce Gardner. He's good. I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's gonna be good.
They previously invested in Jeff Okudah like 2 seasons ago, 2 off seasons. Yeah. At 3rd overall, didn't quite pan out. He got hurt last year, and you still don't really know what he is. But maybe at his best, he's like a number 2 corner. I think Ahmad Gardner could be that number 1. Maybe not a Ramsey because he doesn't measure out to be like that. Yeah. But he does play physical man to man, and Detroit it's not a great defense. but they like to play physical. Like they like to press. They like to play man. It's early for a corner, but I think he's ahead of the group, like by at least a couple strides.
Well,
So I think he headlines the corner room or the DB room, I should say.
yeah. So I disagree there. I have a different pick. I have Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon.
Oh yes.
Because well, he was for months was projected number one pick.
Number one, right?
Yeah, he was projected number one. Kind of Aiden Hutchinson kind of passed him with the once you get close to the draft, things start shaking differently. But I think he's got high potential. He's got highlights and like low lights, like you're saying, like Aiden Hutchinson, just like what I mean. Same type player, edge pass rusher, both of them are explosive. So I just think that's where the Lions are gonna go. I think they're gonna go with what they think would be the best player available at number 2, and that, in my opinion, is Kayvon Thibodeau. So
yeah, my only that makes sense for like what they need a pass rush. Like Trey Flowers isn't what he was supposed to be.
He's gone now, right? Did they re-sign him, or is he or free agent? Didn't they cut him?
See, need to do my research. But that was their best rusher.
Exactly. That's even more of a reason because they don't have anyone,
Pretty much. So you might be onto something. They don't have much DBs either. Like trading Quandre Diggs. They don't
have much at all on defense.
No. So you can kind of battleship it, just drop your missile and you're gonna hit a need somewhere.
Exactly. But yeah, so we both picked defense anyway, so that's definitely a need. Next, number 3, the third pick, the Houston Texans. Who you got Houston taking?
I could be wrong. We might be on the same page. I think they get Trayvon Walker because they've similar, in past, whether it's corners or whether it's pass rush, they usually go after the high testing athlete.
Yeah.
And Walker at his size, I believe he's over 6'5", right?
Yeah, I think he is 6'5".
Yeah, he ran an impressive 40 for at that size.
Mm-hmm.
All the 3-cone, the vertical, everything was peak. And it reminds me of Clowney, not as in production or highlights, but just the frame and the speed at the size. It's not to reiterate, but that's pretty much what you're going off of when you pick him because he has highlights, but it's not doesn't blow you back. He's very raw talent.
Yeah.
I feel like he's the Malik Willis of the pass rushers.
Yeah.
He would be good alongside another rusher. I mean, Houston doesn't have that, but
no,
Houston
doesn't have a lot. That's another team that doesn't have much of a lot.
They got 2 first-round picks.
Yeah. But so I disagree with you there. I have a different pick there. I have Evan Neal, offensive tackle. He can play guard. I just think that it seems like when they drafted Davis Mills, he seems like he might be what they're gonna roll with. He had a pretty decent rookie season.
Yeah, he had highlights rookie year, and that's with nothing around him.
Exactly.
Besides Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. So I would think they want to keep him up on his feet. I mean, you got him, keep him alive. Evan Neal's a beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My favorite tackle or O-line in the draft.
Yeah.
Alabama pedigree.
Exactly. Yeah. No, Alabama guy knows what he's doing. He's a monster too. So that's where I think that Houston's gonna head. So I like that we have a lot of different things though, because it tells you what this draft is not just like a cookie cutter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Years past, you kind of knew maybe how the top 5 was gonna shape.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was a little wild, but
yeah. But you knew the top few picks anyway. But yeah, how about this one? How about the Jets coming in at number 4? Who do you think the Jets are going to take?
So they can do a lot. I mean, ideally you want another receiver next to Elijah Moore, support your quarterback.
They have Corey
They
Davis there
also,
still.
that's true. I don't think I probably alluded to it on further show or previous shows that I'm not really a Davis believer. Like he can do some things, he's talented, but he just never like a Sammy Watkins, like never just puts it together. Like that's kind of my opinion of him.
Yeah. We'll talk more about him
Also-
on the fantasy shows coming up because I have a different opinion about him. I think he's a guy to look out for this year.
Shoot, okay, we'll see, bro.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a big time tease right there. Stay tuned for our fantasy shows coming up. We kill it though. Well, we killed fantasy last year. We were really good.
Yeah, we did
But
some
yeah,
things.
so huh?
Did some things. I mean, we made
We did.
playoffs. And
Yep.
we're pretty
Well, listen,
accurate on the
guys.
sleepers.
If you listen to us, except for about Trey Sermon, you did pretty good in fantasy.
I'll take that one. Didn't see Elijah Mitchell coming out of nowhere, 6th round pick,
Yep.
but that's all it takes to show up in camp.
That's why fantasy's great though. It's fucking you never know. But yeah, how about the Jets? So number 4, Jets. You said they have need at receiver. What else you think they could need?
So I've done 2. I feel like they need 3 important positions. Like also, I was going to get to receiver, O-line, and D-line. Because they started something with Mekhi Becton, and they got the USC guard. I can't. Barrett Tucker.
Yes. USC.
So you're getting some like foundational pieces. Some Becton's more of like a health concern.
Yeah, he's good when he's healthy. He's a beast.
I think since you used 2 picks last season or past 2 first rounds, I think they go Thibodeau because he's still available on my draft.
Yep.
I just think it's either Walker or Thibodeau for them, and I think they take who's not there, or I mean who's left rather.
Yeah.
Just because.
So, oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say because he's put together a pretty good tape at dominating like Oregon.
Yeah.
But I've heard concerns where like I don't know if it matters with Detroit or not, but that if you pick like Agent Hutchinson, he's more devoted to football. He just loves to play. I've heard concerns that like Thibodeau, he wants to build his brand. Like he's already looking for like endorsements and stuff like that, which nothing's wrong with that.
It would be too. I wish I can get a fucking endorsement.
Shoot.
You know, that's why I'm not good at football.
So people like from what I've been hearing, they're like, oh well, Dan Campbell wants like lions in his den, literally.
You want some like raw guy, some fucking just like some
that will bang their helmet against the wall.
exactly. So just like Dan Campbell, just like him.
Yeah.
That's what he wants. He wants him.
When he says jump, he wants them to say how high. Like
exactly.
But yeah, I put Thibodeau at the 4 spot.
There you go. So I obviously have a different pick there because I already used Thibodeau. I have Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame. He just seems like a Jets guy to me. The Jets love taking secondary in the first round, and like with like Jamal Adams. You know what I mean? And they never work out though. Jamal Adams is good, but like things don't really work out.
Yeah, Marcus May made a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it was a replacement or not, but he did.
Yeah, that's true. But the Jets just need players. I think that they look at him like he's going to be the best player available right there. And I think that that's what the Jets are going to go for.
He's kind of a hybrid too. Like you could put him at like nickel corner or like inside corner, kind of off ball backer. I wouldn't rely on that, but in a smaller formation, you could put him off ball linebacker. Primarily he's a safety, so they still need a free safety technically.
Yeah.
So put him in that roaming position, or you do cover 1. He could be over the top. Kind of, he has the like quick shift, like quick like ball. I don't know what he ran if he ran, but his game speed, like once the ball is released, like he's in the play. Like I
Yeah.
don't have a metric for that, but
Yeah.
he's on the
That's
ball.
like something like Dan Campbell. It's a Dan Campbell point. That's what that is. It's fucking, you know.
I don't have an analytic for that, but that boy gets on the ball.
That's good, you know. So yeah, so that's what we got there. Number 4. Number 5, we're moving to same stadium, different team, the New York Giants. Number 5. Who you got at number 5 for the Giants?
Yes, sir. I think they have to get a tackle with this pick. It just matters which one.
Yeah.
My first tackle to go off the board is Evan Neal, and it would be at this spot. Because I had it between him or Ekonwu, which I probably saying that wrong, but I think you go with the Alabama pedigree. He tested well at the combine as well. He's a little smaller, like height wise, but relative to the position, I think he's about like 6 feet, 6'1". But regardless, he stands his ground. And if you want a left tackle to protect your quarterback, if you think Daniel Jones is the future or whoever is after him, you need a foundation regardless if you're going to get anywhere.
Exactly. I agree with you. And that is why I went with Iki Kongwu. Iki Kongwu. I'm probably saying the last name wrong. But yeah, at NC State, offensive tackle, same thing you're saying. If they believe in Daniel Jones the way that they make it look like they do, you need to keep him alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's a beast. And you know, everything you just said about Evan Neal is the same about Ekonwu. He's, you know what I mean? You need to keep Daniel Jones alive, what you said, you know.
Okay. They have 5 and 7, correct?
Yes.
My own handwriting shit.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a lot of names. It looks like trying to solve a mystery, the yarn between the pictures and stuff.
You have like newspaper clippings, fucking all over the place, and like highlighters.
It's a war room over here.
It's good. Yeah, so how about this? This is an interesting pick. The Panthers, number 6. What do you think the Panthers are doing there?
There's a few directions they could go. I'm trying to think of like in Matt Rule's shoes, it's what, year 3, year 4? I think year 4 of his regime. No playoff visits or success.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback's situation has been a revolving door.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, it makes sense to go QB. But then again, if your 4th year and you're trying to win and you're going to throw a rookie in there, I think it's too early.
Unless you hit gold.
Yeah, unless you
draft a guy that saves your job, though.
Unless you get a Mac Jones to save your job.
Yeah.
But
you know, you get Justin Herbert, you know.
On mine, I have him taking Charles Cross, offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Because there's not many great units in the league.
Yeah, you keep Sam Darnold on his feet. That's why.
Donald, or maybe it's Baker. Dust hasn't settled, but
I don't see Baker going there. With Robbie Anderson, I'm sorry. I already said. You see what he on the tweet? He was like,
he wasn't feeling it.
He was not feeling it.
But yeah, I like them fortifying the line. Like, it was a year or 2 ago, they traded Trey Turner for Russell Okung. Okung at the time was like 31, 32.
Yeah.
Like severely regressing. Getting hurt as well. At least Turner was like 27 and he's made a Pro Bowl or 2 before.
Yeah.
So that was puzzling. Didn't help their offensive line, obviously. So numerous holes. It was between the quarterback or the line, but I just don't know which QB or given the situation. I don't know if it's ideal to just drop in.
I'll tell you what's QB. Kenny Pickett. Excuse me. Kenny Pickett. That's why I got them going. Quarterback out of Pitt. We did the show about the quarterbacks. He looked to me like he was the best. After everything I saw, he had the most talent. He had
Most
the
accurate, I think.
most accuracy. Yeah. He just has, like we were saying in the show, he had like the it factor that more than the other guys, most like ready to go, polished. So I think that the Panthers are going to go quarterback there. It's going to be the quarterback. It's going to Kenny Pickett is going to make or break Matt Rule's career as a head coach at Carolina. Because like you're saying, this is year 4 or whatever. If like he's good, then they're like, all right, we'll see what Matt Rule can do with him because he was good his first year. We sucked last year with Cam Newton. You know what I mean? No, it's will. You know what I mean? A little improvement's a lot of improvement in their eyes. So that may save him. He's still the fucking coach. So that's saying something. So Kenny Pickett is who I think the Panthers are gonna go in there.
It's not a bad spot. I mean, I feel like a lot of mocks probably have quarterback go there.
Yeah.
I'm zagging just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, hey, everyone's different. So how about this? We'll move back to the Giants. 7 overall Giants, second pick in the first round. Who do you think that they're gonna take?
So mine was between I liked Kyle Hamilton there, but also I think Jermaine Johnson
Yep.
would probably be my final pick.
So you go to Florida State, Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, I think you just slide him in. He could lock down a side or at least be on top of stuff. Like they don't have a lot going on in the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
I think they released Bradbury.
Or he's like available for trade or something.
Yeah, something they're working on separation.
He's available. He's leaving.
And outside, like they used to have Logan Ryan. Now what do you go to Tampa or something?
Yeah, he did.
I couldn't tell you who's in that. DeAndre Baker, he didn't get arrested or something. Like they just don't have DBs in general.
Yeah. So
I think that's just a plug and play spot.
Yeah. See, I agree. I got the same position. I saw a Trayvon Walker available. So I'm going with him there. Out of Georgia, D and Georgia. He's a beast. Giants need, like you said, they need position. They need a fucking DN. They need fucking everything. You know what I mean? The defense is crap.
DN, linebacker, corner, safety.
Name it. And on my list, he's the best available defensive player there. So that's the pick right there, Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, hard to go wrong. There's something on that side of the ball, and they're not going to get a receiver because they already they have the most expensive receiver room. And
do they really?
Yeah, between Galladay, Shepard.
Oh my god, I forgot about Galladay. He sucks. That was the worst.
Yeah, he's getting like 18 mil or something.
That's horrible.
They Tony, he's a first round pick. I don't think he was mid first round, so I don't think he's too expensive. But first round pick still at least 5.
Yeah, still a rookie deal though. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing somebody, but
yeah,
it was reported they had the most expensive room.
Yeah,
maybe they're still paying Golden Tate. Who knows?
Maybe. So how about this? Next, number 8, the Atlanta Falcons. They suck. They suck.
This one's kind of like you could say quarterback, but I think they're a year away from doing that.
I don't think they're going quarterback. They're rolling Mariota.
Yeah, I think the most dire need. I mean, damn, they need offensive line too. So I can't say dire, but I've done 2 mocks and I put Garrett Wilson going in there in both situations.
Yeah, that's who you're going with.
Yes, I'll take that because their receivers, like they re-signed Olamide Zaccheaus, and they were putting it on Twitter like, "Ooh, like,
yeah,
that's gonna be their number one like boundary receiver. That's gonna be their number one receiver."
Yeah,
and
it's gonna be Cordell Patterson and Kyle Pitts. That's gonna be their offense.
Yeah, and that's coming out of the backfield and off the tackle or put Pitts in the slot, whatever you want to do, but. outside the numbers, you have no talent on the roster. So
Yeah.
I think this is another just plug and play. He could get 1,100 yards rookie year just out of like a default because there's going to be targets. You're going to be losing games, throwing the ball. So I think he could thrive in there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I agree with that. What you said, they need offensive line too. So I went offensive line there. I got Charles Cross. He's still available on my list. Mississippi State. You gotta keep Mariota alive, you know what I mean? If you gotta be giving the ball to fucking Pitts, you got Pitts.
Well,
Yeah, you need a second for him to get off that block. You know what I mean? So you gotta keep him upright for a second. And hopefully that's the guy.
Get O-line this year, quarterback next year.
Exactly.
Regardless of what they get, it's gonna be quarterback in 2023. So
Yeah.
it's just which foundation piece you want to go with that.
Yeah. And how bad do you tank? Yeah.
Also, they're gonna be obviously in top 10. They could be top 3, top 2.
They're probably number 1. That's terrible.
Yeah,
Mariota? You kidding me? It's a joke.
We'll see what the Giants could be if Daniel Jones doesn't pick it up.
Yeah.
They could be picking higher.
Yeah. Do you know who else is gonna suck? The team going number 9, the Seahawks. They got Drew Lock at quarterback. Who you got the Seahawks taking there at number 9?
This is where mine gets a little interesting. I think they need a tackle, like pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I think Pete Carroll just gets Malik Willis in the room, has a good interview, good workout, and he's like, I could win with this kid. Like, he's probably already seen Locke in OTAs or just scrimmage and was like, that's what's going to drive him for Malik Willis.
You think he's going to go Malik Willis there?
I think it'll be an interesting turn.
That's wild.
Like to
That's
see
a wild pick. See,
they have the receivers and stuff. So
I feel like I agree with like your alternative pick on all these because I had them taking a tackle there because they need a defensive tackle. I got a D tackle.
Okay.
I got Jordan Davis.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Georgia. He's a beast. He's quick and he's fucking scary. And the Seahawks need every position. Maybe not receiver.
Pretty much.
Maybe not running back. But every other position, you name it. There's
another team. Another team that they traded. They still got Jamal Adams. They traded those 2 picks for.
Yeah.
Which is hurting them. They got the 9th pick from Denver in the Russ trade.
Yeah.
To maybe build back up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like you said, they need everything, so maybe they don't go for the QB. My rationale is just like Pete Carroll's like 73 or something. And he just looks around. He's like, well, we still got DK, still got Lockett, Carson. Like, maybe you get a quarterback in here and you can win.
But if you watch Malik Willis play, you see him. He's not game ready right now. He's not going to be playing year 1.
That's probably the good analysis. It's just I don't know. I think he is the potential. You're just going
Pete Carroll's mind. I understand. I know it's not you. You're talking about Pete Carroll, right? you're talking through Pete Carroll's eyes.
And you never know what's going on up there.
Yeah. So
I just think he has a good workout and zips the ball around because he has the ability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Has the ability to move around. He didn't do athletic tests in the combine, so maybe he runs for them or does cone drills. Like, I feel like in the draft process that might build up. I could be reaching.
Yeah. Well, either way, Next we have the Jets. Back to the Jets.
New York.
So you had them taking Thibodeau first time around. I had them taking Hamilton first time around. We both had defense. Did they go offense this time?
I have them taking Drake London. That's the is that the USC receiver?
Yeah.
I think he's really talented.
Hmm.
I was also looking at Olave there, but I think maybe he slides a little bit.
Yeah.
There's also we haven't done trades, which could alter how these guys
Yeah.
go.
Do you know what I was thinking? We could like score our mock drafts by like if we get like the team and the player right or whatever. No, like the team and the position right. It's like worth whatever points. If we get just the player right, like in that position, it's worth whatever points. If you get just a team, like because of trades, you know what I mean? You can work out something.
Yeah, we'll have to break it down.
Something, some, like, but yeah, I think also the Jets go offense there. Excuse me, and I still have Garrett Wilson on my board, so I have Garrett Wilson going to the Jets there. Get another receiver, like you were talking about before. You have Elijah Moore. You have Corey Davis. You know what I mean? You might as well just get another weapon for what's it called? For Wilson.
And either of these receivers that we picked could be better than Elijah Moore. Like,
Elijah Moore is really good.
He is. He's a stud for sure.
Yeah.
But like potential wise, I don't know. I liked looking at London's highlights, like how he attacks the ball.
Yep.
Like, I mean, Elijah Moore does that, but he's a smaller receiver. You probably want him in the slot, like more than not. Corey Davis is big, but he's not physical. He's not like a Mike Williams. Like, he doesn't high point or he like doesn't separate that well, frankly, either. So,
yeah.
I just think
You just hate Corey Davis. That's what it is.
I think I don't know. A lot of it, if he scores or something, like somebody fell down or there was a missed assignment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say throw a receiver in there, and if Zach Wilson can't thrive after you get him a tackle and a receiver, then he's probably not the answer.
Get him out of there. Get another quarterback.
Next year.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so we both got receivers going there. Number 11, the Washington Commanders. Who you got them taking? They got Carson Wentz there now, you know.
They do.
You got them going receiver, or what you got them doing?
I'm gonna throw Olave in the Commanders. Just because I wanted to go like Kyle Hamilton or something like that, just because the Ron Rivera mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But amongst all the other receivers, like amongst the Devo drama, like DK wanting a deal, AJ Brown wanting a deal. McLaurin's also, he was a second round pick. He also wants a deal contract.
Yep.
And given he's had like a DeAndre Hopkins career simulation with the quarterbacks, like he's had like 8 quarterbacks in 3 years, which is ridiculous, and still produced. So I think whether you can't make a deal with him and you have to trade him, or you keep him, you still need like an extra or a wide receiver alongside. If you want the offense to move, you got running back, you got tight end.
Yeah.
You have an alpha receiver. You're just missing another link, and then Wentz should have 0 excuses.
Yep. I agree. And that's why I got them taking Drake London, who's still available on my board. I got them taking him. He's nasty. He's gonna be a star, Drake London. So you're gonna have McLaurin and London if he's up to his potential. Like you said, Carson Wentz should have no excuse but to thrive. And then the Commanders are gonna find out that Carson Wentz cannot thrive. So they're gonna have to get a new quarterback there. We should have kept Tyler Heineke.
Yeah, next season,
Yeah.
Ron Rivera is going to be gone. They're going to be drafting top 10, get a
Yeah, that's the
quarterback.
thing. They screw it all up. They always do. They have a good coach. They have a good player. They're just gonna screw it all up anyway. So hopefully they don't screw up
It's a
Draymond.
management thing,
Yeah, comes from the
mismanagement
top. Comes from the top.
from ownership
Yeah.
down.
So what's that?
Ownership down is mediocrity
Yeah, below
or
mediocrity.
less.
Yeah. So how about this? Number 12, Minnesota Vikings. I got the Christian Ponder jersey up here, as you can see.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, he's a first round
Throwback.
Vikings. Yeah, first round Vikings pick. But yeah, who do you think the Vikings are taking in this year's draft in the first round?
So I just mentioned him, and I think it came down to like Stingley, or I'd probably go with Hamilton
Yeah.
because they still have Daniil Hunter under contract. Harrison Smith, they gave him a decent amount of money, but I think it's obvious he's regressed. He's like 32 now at a free safety position where it predicates on the athleticism, covering the field.
Yeah.
I think you can, if you put Hamilton in the free roam spot and you move Smith down to either the box or the strong side, so he could play more in the middle, like, and then Hamilton's over the top. He has the better speed. And they got rid of Zimmer, but I still think they have like a defense first mindset. Granted, their offense is pretty loaded outside. Their offensive line isn't great, but obviously, you know, the weapons I don't have to go through. So I feel like they're going defense.
Yeah. I agree. And you mentioned my guy. I got Derek Stingley Jr., LSU cornerback. That's why I got going there. I feel like I have all of your alternatives every single way. That's crazy. But yeah, I have Derek Stingley going there. He's quick. He's a good cornerback. You know what I mean? SEC, been guarding good competition. His whole career there. So I think he's there. I mean, I have Kyle Hamilton going there, but I think he's a no-brainer there if he's available. You know what I mean?
So anything on the back end, anything they need on the back end, they could just plug in because they don't have no corners.
That's their biggest weakness is their secondary.
They've drafted Mike Hughes, who's on another team. Like a few years back, they drafted like Jeff Gladney and like I'm missing another. Like there are a lot of young corners that haven't proven anything.
Yeah,
I think you go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, start over.
Get some talent in the secondary.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so we basically agree there. Next 13, we got the Houston Texans making their second appearance in the first round. Who you got Houston taking 13?
So this would be a little interesting, but yeah, I have I'm stuck on two, but I think Jameson Williams going there.
Wow.
Would be pretty. I mean, like they're not in a position where they're like, all right, let's go win the division. Like, they can take a receiver that's rehabbing an injury.
Yeah,
come back like early mid-season, like no rush, and then again, you want to evaluate Davis Mills further. Put him. He has really one receiver to throw to. You give him another electric receiver where you just get him the ball, you figure out how to, and they make plays. You want to make it – obviously, the game is making it easier for the quarterback.
Yeah.
So you go either defense or O-line just because of the value earlier in the draft, and then I think you get a receiver just to – like you need to put points. Like you need to put butts in the seats too. Like you can't just have. I can't even name their wideout two right now. It's
It's Will Fuller. No, I was kidding. I got them taking the best player available. That's my mindset with them. And the way I had that is on you already took, which is you had them number 2, Sauce Gardner, Cincinnati. And he may put butts in seats. He may be electric. You know what I mean? So that's going to be. I think that's the pick for them there, because like you said, they need defense too. So that helps that need. And like I said, the best player available, Sauce Gardner, Cincinnati. They were in the Final Four this year, weren't they? Cincinnati.
Yeah, they made the playoffs.
Yeah. So
them and Michigan were the surprises.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Michigan's been like kind of knocking on the door, but they never really have their stuff together.
Yeah.
Until they got in this year.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, now Aiden Hutchins is gone. They won't win again. I'm just kidding. This household I live in is an anti-Michigan household. Sarah is an Ohio State fan,
okay.
so we're Ohio State right here.
Justin
but
Fields.
Next, Justin Fields, yep. R.I.P. Dwayne Haskins. Yeah. So next we got the Ravens coming in at 14. Who do you got the Ravens taking?
The Ravens. No, I didn't use Stingley yet on mine, right?
Okay.
Because I think that would be. I mean, it seems like they always go defense.
Yeah,
and I think their trenches.
It works. It works usually for them.
Like I could see them taking a receiver as well because they need like a solid outside threat. Because Marquise Brown is what it is. Like he can create separation all he wants, but it's too many drops to be your number one receiver. But nonetheless, I'll give them a defensive player. I mean, their front is solidified. Like they got Calais Campbell. They almost had Zadarius Smith back.
Yeah.
Until they did a 180 on him.
Yeah, he changed mine.
But they have players on the front end like Pat Queen, if he can step up or progress.
Yep.
He's been more of a slower start to him compared to his peers like Devin, Whyte, and amongst that group.
Yeah. Devin Bush. Yeah. So my mindset here when I was thinking about the Ravens is I wrote in Jameson Williams originally. He's still available on my board, talking about receiver. And then I changed it. And I changed it to Trevor Penning, offensive tackle. And with the mindset that they're gonna invest in Lamar Jackson, they need to keep him. I mean, he's a mobile quarterback. You need to keep him up. And this dude's a beast. He's like fucking Shrek or something. Dude's like he's gigantic. So yeah, where's he at? Is that some fucking cornbread ass fucking where's he not cornbread, corn fed, that's what I'm talking about. He's from like Iowa or some shit. Yeah, northern Iowa. He's from the fucking cornfields. You know what I mean? So that's my pick there is protection for Lamar Jackson.
That's a solid one. I mean, you can't go wrong. Every team truly needs offensive line.
Exactly.
Unless you're like Indianapolis or like Cleveland, maybe. But
but that's because
every team's got a hole in there.
They draft good on the offensive line, especially Indianapolis. You know what I mean? So we can move on from the Ravens and on to the Eagles coming in at 15 after a lot of trades with the Saints and mixed up the whole draft board. So we got the Eagles here at 15. Who you got them taking?
And they're another one that could use a receiver, but we just kind of went on a run with them.
Yeah, they took a receiver last year, right? Devonta Smith.
Yeah. And I think he did pretty well given the situation. I think there's room.
He had a good
room to build on
year.
it.
Yeah. He definitely had a good rookie year.
Stuff being in the second half of the season, they were the number one rushing offense in like attempts and yards. So
Mhm.
it's hard to succeed in that, given he did anyway.
Yeah.
But I just dropped Devontae Wyatt in there just because I didn't really know what direction they were gonna go.
So you think they're gonna go defensive tackle?
Yeah, because with like you got Fletcher Cox there,
Mhm.
but you
They just
don't know
re-signed
how.
him.
Yeah, and I feel like they kind of gave him money off his past performance. Like
They definitely did.
he isn't the
Definitely
Fletcher Cox of old
no.
anymore.
Definitely had lost a step. So I think that is a good pick there. I went D line also, and I went D end, and I still had Jermaine Johnson available, Florida State. So that's where I went
Yeah,
there, Jermaine Johnson. You know, so I was thinking D tackle too, but I thought because they re-signed Fletcher Cox that they're gonna go somewhere
yeah,
else.
that makes sense.
Yeah. But I think we had the same thing in mind where they're not going to go receiver again, even though it probably would be a good idea because he missed so bad with Nelson Aguilar, not Nelson Aguilar.
Rager,
What Jalen? Oh yeah, Jalen Rager
and then
whiffed on
also
that.
Ortega Whiteside in the second round,
Yeah,
like a couple years back. That
yeah,
didn't work out either.
no,
It's kind of like Devonta Smith is like Will Smith in Fresh Prince, the last episode, just looking around the empty room.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like,
Why you don't want me, man?
oh,
Oh
they
no,
have
that's a different episode. That's a different episode. That's when his dad was like fucking whatever. The last one
oh
where like,
yeah,
everyone's moved out. I know you're saying the room's empty. He's just looking around.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, they have Quez Watkins, who's fast. I'll give him that, but
He had a good
it's
preseason, but then didn't have a good regular
like
season.
nothing. He might pop up doing a random touchdown, like on the
Yeah,
highlights, but he didn't do much of anything.
no, definitely digressed. But yeah, so we both went D line there. Next, moving on, 16. How about the Saints coming in there? Who do you think the Saints are gonna take?
I'm gonna put Trevor Penning there because I still have him. They lost Armstead in free agency, and the offense looked pretty good with Jameis early on.
Mhm,
That was with their last season O line intact,
mhm.
and I don't know. You lose such a foundational piece. I mean, he's been your franchise tackle for like 8, 9 seasons.
Yeah,
I feel like that's kind of just drop in. Like he tested pretty well.
mhm.
He's like there's not much offensive line highlights, but he's another one. He just you put him on the block, he holds his side, and then it opens up. Like they could use another receiver as well. Maybe they do that with that other pick, but
Yeah,
I think you go the offensive line first just because of value. It's starting to get thin at this point. I mean, there's talents available, but as far as like what's this like the fifth offensive lineman? Or
something like that. Yeah.
yeah, so you're running out of like that first tier. I think he's one of the last ones on the first tier.
Hmm. Yeah.
So plug
Yeah.
him in.
Definitely. No, it's definitely a good pick for them there. The Trent Penn. Yeah, so I have them taking Jameson Williams there.
Yes,
Still available
that
on
was in
my
the back of
board.
my mind.
Yeah. Like you said, they still need a a receiver. They're also not in a position where they're not winning anything this year.
No,
You know what I mean?
like new
Or they're
coach
not
staff.
expected to. So that's a good place for Jameson Williams. Like he's not gonna be ready. They say he might be ready for whatever earlier than
Mm,
expected, but you know what I mean? You can't if you don't want to rush him, that's a good place for him to go. Because like you said, Michael Thomas, you don't know what the hell he's even doing. He's even gonna
no,
play or not. And yeah, so that's where I got there. Jameson Williams going to New Orleans. Um, yeah, so we can move on from there. Next, number 17, the Los Angeles Chargers. Who you got them taking?
No, the Chargers. I think I'm just gonna slap Kenyon Green there because they got Slater last season, and that
Yeah.
seemed to be immense. And I mentioned earlier they got Trey Turner from the trade. I think they signed Coy Linsley the offseason before.
Yeah.
I think you throw that like last piece on the line. I mean, you got your franchise quarterback, obviously, and the offensive line was decent given the additions I named. But like, if you want to take that further step, establish the run game. They didn't run the ball at all very well last season.
Yeah.
So slide him in, build that unit. You got the receivers, you got everything else. Defense is shaping up with the other acquisitions. I think it's like the most glaring part.
Yeah. I have madness going on outside my window right now. Do you hear it? Do you hear it at
A
all?
motorcycle or something, maybe.
Yeah, motorcycles, people yelling, just madness. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I lost my place. Where are we right now? We're on the Chargers, right?
Chargers.
Who'd you have them taken?
Kenyon Green.
Oh, okay. That's a good pick. Yeah, so I got them taking Devonta Wyatt there, defensive tackle. I know that they just got Khalil Mack, right? And fucking their Bosa. You put a beast right in the middle there. You know what I mean? That's gonna be scary.
Now you got pressure on all fronts.
Exactly. And you put a lot of money into your offense. So this is and the defense too. But I think this is a perfect pick for them right there. A big D tackle. Guys, you know what I mean, real aggressive. And yeah, I think that is the pick. Yeah, another Georgia guy. And that's the thing too. Georgia is producing fucking a lot of players in this draft. You know what I mean? They're all athletes there too. They're all crazy athletes, you know. But
they've been putting up. I mean, we weren't thinking too similarly, but we were on the same wavelength. I said they couldn't run the ball. They couldn't defend the run much at all either. So you get that force in the middle.
Exactly.
Solidified. Either way, we had someone in the trenches, which is like the only way I think this team can improve. And they can always get better players, but that's the glaring parts. Is trenches on both sides.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, Chargers, they were a tough one to pick for me too. But yeah, I think Devontae Wyatt's a good pick. And I like your pick there too. We're back to the Eagles now. The Eagles got their second go around here in the first round. Who you got the Eagles taking?
The Eagles are back in it. I had some notes on my computer too, so I think you got to take this one first.
What'd you say?
I was looking. I got notes on my book and computer. So if you want to
go there, I'll go there. I got the Eagles taking Trent McDuffie. You know what I mean? Quarterback, Washington. I think that that's definitely been a need for the Eagles. You know what I mean? So the Eagles, I had them taking Jermaine Johnson first time around. So I got them on the edge first time. Now you got them in the secondary. Bolster that defense. You know what I mean? Hopefully you hit on both. You know what I mean?
This is probably our first agreement. That was like originally, I had McDuffie initially written. I had Nakobe Dean was like a asterisk because they need a linebacker like really bad as well.
Yeah.
But I think in a passing league, you just go with the DB, hope for the best.
Yeah.
Try to find a second round, like maybe forget who the Michigan linebacker was that got hurt. Was that Dean?
I'm not sure.
So, there was one that he tore his Achilles like in warm-ups or something, like in pre-draft warm-up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was linebacker or corner. So I will agree with you on the McDuffie pick.
Okay. Yep, perfect. Yeah, so good. Yeah, so moving on. Now we have the Saints again, right? So Saints first time around, you had them taking offensive lineman, Trevor Penning. Who you got them taking this time around?
I'm gonna. Ooh, this is a tough one. I really want them to be the quarterback.
You
I
think
think I'm
quarterback?
gonna. It's possible.
All right.
But I don't know if it's fantasy or reality. But I'm gonna put N'Kobe Dean there instead. He's the linebacker from Georgia.
Yep.
I think they need a playmaker on that side. Defense overall is aging. Like Demario Davis is their best linebacker. He's like 32, 33. They got Cam Jordan on the D line. He's in his early 30s.
Yeah.
I think Marcus Davenport, they drafted a couple of years back. He's been okay. But I mean, that's another D lineman. But I can't name the other. They might have like Alex Anzalone, which I only know from Madden as a
Oh, I
linebacker.
know.
But yeah, they definitely, if it's not in the Saints to tank,
No.
and they've always had, whether it's fantasy wise or NFL statistic wise, like or in game, they've always had a good, effective defense.
Mhm.
I think they want to sustain that. So I'll drop a Mike linebacker in the mix, shore
There
up
you
a lot
go.
of holes.
There you go. I'm on the same. I have the same thought as you. I have them taking David Ojabo from Michigan,
Okay.
the DN, and he plays linebacker too. You know what I mean? He's like a hybrid um, linebacker, DN, pass rusher. You know what I mean? And like you were saying, that's what they need. They definitely need help on that defense. And I like your pick too, the Kobe Dean, but I have David Ajabo ahead of him on my list, so that's where I went. David Ajabo, Michigan, on the board. Yeah.
Okay. Here it is. David
Who you got?
Ojabo
Yeah.
tore Achilles during a drill in Michigan's pro day. That one. So he's expected to miss.
It was him.
Like, yeah, he's expected to miss
Fuck.
majority of this season. I mean, with
Hey,
one
that goes with my first pick with them with Jameson Williams. They're not drafting for this year. They're drafting for the future. You know what I mean? So I'm sticking with what I'm
yeah,
going
they're
with
gonna get a
David
guy
Ajabo.
off for ACL and a guy off Achilles.
Yeah.
They're like,
That
yeah,
nigga's flying.
when you guys come back half the season, or you come back third quarter of the season, and plug him in, see what you got,
Yeah. Exactly.
see what your
Exactly.
record is by then.
Yeah, the coach will be fired by then.
But no, he was supposed to be like top 15, like had he not
Yeah.
got hurt. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that was terrible when he got hurt. That sucked.
I knew it was
Um,
Michigan. I was just losing the name.
yeah.
I mean, Dobbins. Or no, I'm thinking of Akers. Cam Akers, Achilles. He played. He won a Super Bowl, so
Yeah.
it looks effective when he came back in the playoffs.
He did, unless he
Besides,
took he kept fumbling the ball.
yeah, I was gonna allude to that.
Besides
I mean,
that,
that has nothing to do with his ankle,
no, his
but
Achilles didn't cause that.
maybe it
His
was jitters.
Butterfingers did. It was his Butterfingers. That was what caused it.
So it's been proven you can recover from that pretty
Yeah.
efficiently. So
Mhm.
we'll see. Like, I still think that's a good pick. We were just
Yeah.
both thinking linebacker. So
Exactly. Yeah. So next we got the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Mitchell Trubisky led Pittsburgh Steelers. What do you think about that? Who you got the Steelers taking?
no, I want to just give them like a D tackle because that's a Pittsburgh thing. But
Yeah, right.
uh, I think I'm gonna drop Kenny Pickett in there because
Wow.
I think they really like Malik Willis, and according to my own self, he won't be there anymore.
Yep.
And Pickett is the other one I liked out of this group. Like those would be my top two. Because Pickett is probably the most accuracy in the class.
Yeah.
Like you said, the most pro ready based off how he runs the offense, makes decisions, throws the ball efficiently. Like I think in a no tomfoolery Mike Tomlin system,
Yeah.
I think you get the most professional guy. And like I said, Trubisky, he got a 2-year deal. Like they didn't view him as be all end all. I
Yeah.
don't think he viewed himself as that, but I think with maybe they can get another receiver, but the offense is pretty solid outside the line. And they added some free agents to shore that up. Defense on every level, you got studs and athletes. I think you drop a competent quarterback in the mix and you could be back in the playoffs. I mean, that division's tough, but
Yeah.
like I think you can grab a wild card spot if this guy pans out. But I think he's the most apt to do that for you.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what other quarterbacks push a playoff run first year.
Yeah.
But I look at him like a Mac Jones, but more athletic, kind of. Maybe not the same decision making because Mac's like on his own level.
Yeah.
Being a first year guy, but I'll drop Pickett in there.
There you go. It's not a bad pick. I went a little different direction. I went Tyler Lindbaum, center, out of Iowa. So that was been. I think the center's been a need there in Pittsburgh. So
they lost Pouncey like a couple of years back.
Yeah, retired. So I think I was actually talking to someone that I was working with that's a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He was telling me going on and on how they need a center. So I was like, all right. When I made this list, who's the best center? Tyler Lindbaum. That's my guy. So that's how I came across that. But yeah, it's an Iowa dude. He's a big ass motherfucker. You know what I mean? So and you need a good center. Center is incredibly important.
Slept on because they make reads themselves based off how the lineup is.
Yeah, and you see what happens when a starting center gets hurt too. The backup always sucks, and the ball always goes flying everywhere.
They're missing snaps or missing assignments, blocking.
Yeah, misread the count, stuff like that. So yeah, that's where I went. Tyler Lindbaum, center, Iowa. Put it on the board. Next, we got the Patriots. New England Patriots. Who do you think the Patriots are taking at 21 if they don't trade out of it?
I have them. I liked Devin Lloyd there, but I already used him. Is Treylon Burks? That's a corner. Right?
You didn't use Devin Lloyd.
I didn't put him to the Saints. Or no, I used Nakobe Dean. Sorry, I was thinking different linebacker.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna go with Devin Lloyd then, since I didn't use him. And Devin it's Lloyd. Amongst. I had issues with it because they definitely need a corner. Like, that's why I'm like 50-50 on this pick. Because I don't want to see what's the linebacker I'm thinking of that Javon Bentley. Didn't we get him back?
Yeah, from Miami. Yeah.
Like Hightower is pretty much a pass rusher.
No. Javon Bentley, he didn't go to Miami, did he? I think of Van Noy.
I thought we kept Bentley.
Got released too. I think we re-signed Javon Bentley.
Okay. Either way, it's like him or Dante Hightower, which they're both the way they play. Is like they play like old school, like fill the gap when back in 2000s and everyone was running the ball. Like in this age, you need a versatile linebacker cover. Now you got Cooper Kupps and shit. Rondale Moore is going up the middle. Elijah Moore, like You got tight ends, Kittle, Hawkinson, Kels, Pitts. If he does something, like the middle of the field is a lot bigger than what it was. You just need speed. You need an athlete in the middle, like first and foremost.
Yep.
It's not all predicated on that. You need someone that can kind of captain the defense as well, which I think he could do. Put him in a Patriot system. I think you either cut for it or you're not. And I think that's a good place for a smart linebacker to go.
Yep, I agree. That's why I also took Devin Lloyd.
Shoot.
Everything you just said. You know what I mean? It's a good pick too. And like Hightower should probably retire. I mean, he's got no gas left in the tank.
Or he should be
And
a full-time pass rush.
He's a free agent right now too. He's not even signed. So the linebacker is a definite need. Like you said, cornerback. The Patriots are good at getting cornerbacks in the 7th round, undrafted. And Belichick's going to do that again. Like whether he gets someone or not, he's going to try to get someone. And you know what I mean? To fill that J.C. Jackson role.
Yeah, my main worry is just because right now it's like Jalen Mills and Malcolm Butler.
Yeah, Jonathan Jones.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned, like a lot concerned, but I'm also concerned about the middle of the field as well.
Yeah, but I think 2nd, 3rd round, 4th round, that's when we're going to look at secondary for the Patriots. I think 1st round, you got to take the best player there, and it's Devin Lloyd. You know what I mean? At a position of need that you have, you know.
It's best available and need. So
exactly, a combination. That's what you
just turn that card in.
Yep. So moving on, we got the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, richer than he was. Devontae Adams left town. He went to Vegas.
Big contract.
He's like, I'm just gonna gamble all my money on fucking dice. You know? What's that? What game is that? What game is that where you fucking roll the dice, you know? It's not roulette. Craps. That's what he's doing. Yeah. No, I don't know what he's doing, but he's gone now. So is it Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He's gone. So you have 2 good running backs, no receivers, except for Sammy Watkins they signed, so look out for that. Are you going receiver here?
By default, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
It's just which one. I'm going to go Christian Watson, North Dakota State.
Whoa.
I think might not be like consensus or whatever, but I don't know. You just see.
He wasn't even in our receiver show. You got some other guy, Khalil fucking something.
Khalil Shakir.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's not a first round talent. At least he's talented.
This guy is Christian Watson is.
Yes, I watched minimal highlights, but and maybe it's just the division because he's playing for like Carson Wentz school. But
yeah,
he's just like a man amongst boys when he plays.
All right. I didn't watch any North Dakota State stuff this year. I didn't watch anything. I have him on my other players. I don't have him in my first round. I do have him listed here. But that's early to me. I have them taking a receiver though. I have them taking Treylon Burks from Arkansas. So and because Treylon Burks is a beast. And he's gonna he fills that Devontae Adams role. You know what I mean? That you know what I mean? The short story is they need a receiver. Whether it's Watson or if it's Burks.
We were aligned on that pretty much. It just came down to the guy.
Exactly. But the thing with the Packers is they're not gonna do that for him. They're gonna draft a fucking guard.
Running back.
It's not yeah. They're taking Kenneth Walker. That's what they're doing. Oh my god. So we can move on from there to the Arizona Cardinals. So you got the Cardinals taken. Where are we now? 23rd overall.
Well, I'm going to take your guy who just mentioned, Treylon Burks,
Wow.
because I think I don't know. Kyler Murray is clearly unhappy. I
Yeah.
think you try to throw a receiver, and they've done some weird moves organizationally, like
Yeah. Obviously,
extending.
take back-to-back quarterbacks in the first round.
Yeah, but extending Zach Ertz for like 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
That's
that
crazy.
was. I thought he was like he did good last year, but that was like the high of the high. I thought like
Yeah. You got everything out of Zach Ertz.
exactly like
Yeah.
whatever you thought you were getting, you got. But to think 4 years from now or even a year from now, that's gonna sustain. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And obviously you got D Hop. I like
Mhm.
Rondale more. He didn't like he had spurts, but maybe he wasn't used right.
Yeah.
But
Christian Kirk's gone too.
yeah, Kirk's gone. Moore didn't really seem to jump into that number 2 role. Like
No.
I think when you get rid of Kirk, who was a slot receiver primarily, or when he was effective, Moore
Mhm.
can go to the slot, and you can throw Treylon Burks as that boundary guy. Obviously, you got D Hop, and that offense has nothing to do but move the ball. Like I
Yeah.
think you got running backs too. Like if Kyler's healthy and you get him another threat, I think they'll score with the best of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I went a different direction there. I went with a cornerback, and I went with Andrew Booth, cornerback out of Clemson. I think that they just need they need a cornerback.
You can't
You
go
know what I
wrong
mean?
with that.
You can't go wrong with that. That's what when you don't know, like we were saying before, you just can't go wrong going secondary in the first round. I mean, unless you do, unless they stink. But I don't think this guy stinks. I think he's pretty good. Yeah, so I got them taking Andrew Booth, corner, put on the board. What do you got the Cowboys doing next? Cowboys coming at 24.
The Cowboys,
Mm-hmm.
I have to give them a pass rusher. I think
Yeah.
I'm going through my tiers, and I think we're kind of out of. I think that first tier was gone, like after you took after your last book, Jabo. I
Yeah.
think that was like the end of that tier, that first one.
Yeah. You still have
But
him available.
you are right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give him Ojabo
David Ojabo, put him on the board.
because that division did get better. I mean, maybe if Carson Wentz is a shell of his Eagles self, like the good one,
Yeah.
you'd have to think maybe they jump forward. I mean, they coming from Heineke, which wasn't inspiring. I know that's your boy, but the
Yeah, I know
Giants
he's not.
are
He's not the future though. You know what I
no,
mean? He's
the
gonna come
Giants
in
are
as
going to
a
be the
backup.
Giants.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to get your 2 games against them. Philly's going to be tough.
Yeah.
So I think you can take a guy that needs 10 to 12 weeks to recover,
Mm,
or like 10 weeks into the season,
yeah.
and get elite return. Like when he was healthy, obviously
Hmm.
he was not primarily, but a big part of Michigan making it into the playoffs.
Hmm.
Something they haven't done like since the playoffs was a thing in the college.
Yeah. Um, I got them taking a DN there also, pass rusher. You know what I mean? I got them taking George Karlaftis from Purdue. This dude's a maniac. I like him a lot. Um, he's got a motor, like fucking. He's out of control. I think that this guy is going to be a perfect fit there for Dallas. You know what I mean? He was a beast at Purdue. Gets after the quarterback. Like I said, he's got a motor on him. He's a nut. So that's my pick there. George Karlaftis. It's hard to say, but I think that he's a perfect cowboy right there. And that goes along with like your Jabo, same idea. Well, they need a pass rush. You need someone to get out to the quarterback. You know what I mean?
They lost Gregory.
Exactly. Yep.
DeMarcus Lawrence isn't what you paid him to be.
No.
So
No.
I mean, you got Micah Parsons who can kind of use a jackknife. He can
That was a great.
cover. He can rush.
That was a great pick by them last year.
No, they definitely.
Mhm.
And Philly went up to get Smith, and they could have stayed and got Parsons. I think that's how that worked.
Yeah. Screw that up.
Add another, make the defense legit. Like you got some corner, like Trayvon Diggs. If he takes a step, like obviously he was getting mad picks, but if he takes a step from the coverage and like intellect standpoint,
yeah,
like reading defenses, reading receivers better.
Yeah.
Like your back end isn't set, but I'd say it's better off.
Shape.
Yeah, you need to put pressure on the QB.
Definitely. So yeah, I think we're in agreement there. Next we got the Bills coming in at 25. We got the Bills doing.
The Bills, I think they could go receiver and it wouldn't be crazy. But I'm gonna give them Andrew Booth, I believe, who you took previously.
Yeah.
Because I mean they have Tre'Davious White, who's Pro Bowl corner when he's healthy. He just had the ACL, I believe, like mid-season. So he may be back. He could be back for week 1. I think he's expected to be. Obviously, that's like you can be back, but you need to spend time getting in a rhythm, getting into like the swing of things, really. And the other corners aren't inspiring. I think they had Levi Wallace and like Teron Johnson, who were just like guys. But
fill-ins.
Yeah, you established your pass rush, draft Epineza, you draft Russo, sign or trade for Von Miller. They signed him.
Yeah.
So I think your Hyde and Poyer on the back end are nasty safeties. I think the hole on the team is cornerback.
Yeah.
So I'll put that there.
There you go. See, I went a different direction. I think this is going to be the boring pick of the draft. Or like whatever. This is Zion Johnson, guard out of Boston College.
Yeah.
Just get another offensive lineman, solidify it better.
Plug him in.
Beast. Plug him in. Off you go. BC's got good offensive linemen traditionally. So there it is.
I mean, the Bills could sling the pill, but they didn't run the ball that effectively.
Yeah.
Maybe
they haven't in a long time.
Maybe it was the average running backs, but I mean, watching the games too, it seemed like there wasn't much room to operate, at least interior. So you get a guard or center to open up some lanes, make a scary offense scarier. So
exactly. So I think that's the pick there for the Bills. Next, we got an interesting one here. We got the Titans. What do you think the Titans are gonna do?
I have is it Johan Dotson?
The receiver, Jahan?
Yes. Because like AJ Brown's contract situation is up in the air. I mean, you have his rights, so I think their first contract you can match or it's restricted. However, that's going to cost a lot of money, and then you don't know if he's getting traded or not. Like I said, with these other second-round receivers from his class, if he's here or not, similar with Terry Mack, you need another threat over. Like the Julio Jones thing didn't work. Like, I applaud them for trying it. Like on paper, you're like, oh shoot, we got Julio, AJ, Derrick Henry, let's go.
They got Robert Woods down there now.
They did. That's a great point. However, AJ Brown gets traded, gets hurt. You just had Bobby Trees. Like regardless, I think you still need another threat. I think Woods is a good slot receiver because he does those jet sweeps, end around Like he does a lot of work in the middle, like hitches. But you throw a receiver, a little bit of speed in the mix, kind of open things up. Because honestly, both the like Brown likes to go up the middle too, because he's not like a burner type. Like he's a good route runner, but he's physical. So I think the middle of the field is going to be busy, and you get an outside threat.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I went back and forth on this pick a little bit. I had Olave here, so I still have him on my board. But I ended up going Malik Willis here.
Okay.
And I think that it'll be like, because Malik Willis is like a project quarterback, and he's him being behind someone like Tannehill for a year or two may, if not anything else, push Tannehill to be a better quarterback. But he is aging, and he's been in the league for a long
Yeah,
time.
he's in his low 30s.
Yeah.
So he's getting there.
Yeah. And you know what I mean? So you have 2 years behind him. So that's a good you got him in the waiting to be the next quarterback. So that's where I went. I went Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty. Put on the board, right?
No, that'd be good. Like you said, push Tannehill at the very least.
Exactly. Because
His playoff stint wasn't inspiring,
yeah.
to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. Next, how about this? The Buccaneers. What are the Bucks gonna do here?
I'm gonna put. You took Zion already.
Yep.
I didn't take him yet. I'm gonna put him there because, I mean, they re-signed Ryan Jensen, the center, but they lost Alex Kappa in free agency, the guard.
Yep.
I'm not sure if they lost another.
Someone retired.
Line. Yes, someone retired. Like either way, your quarterback. It's no secret Tom Brady's not mobile. Like you need to. You got the receivers. You got running backs. You got Lenny back. Like,
Yeah.
you need to fortify the trench to give him some time. Like Brady with no time, he's gonna be laying on his back.
Yep, you don't want that.
So you need him time to cook.
Yep. I went the same direction. I went Kenyon Green there, who you already took. So I took a guard there also for the same reasons. You need someone there to just keep Brady on his feet. You know what I mean? You need someone in the trenches, like you said. And he's a good pick there, Kenyon Green. At Texas A&M. Yeah. So how about this? How about the Packers? Pick number 2. We got the Packers doing here.
They're back up. Who do I have for the Pack? Yeah, I was looking at. I didn't pick Karlaftis yet.
Oh yeah.
But I think they need 2 receivers. But I don't know. There's also other rounds, and you said Sammy Watkins. Maybe he's the savior.
I mean, he's good for week 1, but then what after that?
But yeah, I'm gonna put Karlaftis there.
All right, George Karlaftis, Purdue.
Get a good edge threat.
Yep.
Because they had the Smith brothers for a little bit, but it was good for like that initial season, and then they stopped getting sack production, stopped getting like pressure rates. Smith went to Minnesota, or Za'Darius rather. I think they still have Preston Smith, but Rashawn Gary took a step up, and they got Kenny Clark on the interior, but I think to solidify the unit, put Karlaftis there, then you got like at least 3 guys like you can rely on.
Yeah. I think it's a good pick there. This is where I went Olave, and I went with what you said, the 2 receiver. That's what they need to do. They need to take 2 receivers. So I got them taking Treylon Burks and Chris Olave in the first round. 2 different type of receivers. You know what I mean? Fill both one giant need because you have no receivers. You know what I mean? So that was the pick for me there. Chris Olave, Ohio State.
Yeah, I used up all my receivers.
Oh,
I had like this early at least.
Yeah.
So I kind of went with best available.
There you go. Well, this next pick, I'll start this next pick. I had a receiver going now. I got one left here to the Chiefs, number 28. I'm sorry, 29. I have Jahan Dotson, receiver out of Penn State, going to the Chiefs. Now that Tyreek Hill is gone, and they got Juju Smith-Schuster there, and they got Marquez Valdez-Scantling, but both of them stink. So they're gonna need a receiver. So, and Hardman stinks too. They only have Kelsey. They're gonna need a receiver, and that's the guy.
That's a pretty solid move. I think does that leave us? You just picked Kansas City, or are we on Kansas City now? Sorry.
Kansas City, yeah.
I like.
They're going back to back here.
I'm gonna say this incorrectly, probably, but Boy Maffei, edge rusher,
Yep.
Minnesota.
Yep.
Because they signed D Ford, or traded and signed for D Ford. That didn't pan out. They got Chris Jones in the middle. He's a beast. And then I'm forgetting Frank Clark. Frank Clark's like solid, but he's not like Seattle Frank Clark.
Yeah, they're all aging. Everyone at defense.
All those guys
are getting
names are late 20s, or if not 30 already.
Yep.
So they need a youth inflection on the line.
Yeah.
I think you throw a big dude on the edge. It helps. They were getting run the ball on too. Like a lot of the games, like they played Minnesota, they played Cincinnati. I think Joe Mixon tore it up.
Yeah. So Mixon did a lot this year. So yeah, so I guess we'll move on from there to the Chiefs again, back to back for the Chiefs, right? I'll take the Chiefs. I'll go first again here. I'm taking Tyler Johnson, offensive tackle from Tulsa. Just you can never have enough offensive linemen. You know what I mean?
Especially when you got a 500 mil quarterback.
Yeah, you
You
definitely
gotta
want to
keep
keep
him up.
him protected. So that was the best guy I saw available. Tyler Smith, Tulsa offensive tackle on the board. What you got?
I'm gonna go with the Kyer Elam, the corner. I think from Florida.
Yeah.
Because they had L'Jarius Sneed was
Wait a minute.
a second.
Is it Kyer Elam? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Is he from Clemson or Florida?
It could be Clemson.
I think he's in Clemson. I could be wrong too. But either way, Kyer Elam got him. Yeah, so secondary you're thinking there?
Yeah, they're missing. I mean, Honey Badger remains unsigned. They signed.
Yeah, I don't think he's going back there.
They signed Justin Reed, which is not apples to apples, but probably the closest you get to that position.
Yeah.
I like L'Jarius Sneed. He's like a second-year corner.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, they were kind of getting cooked. Like in the playoffs, like I mentioned, Cincinnati, like second half, Chase is getting behind them. Higgins is getting behind them.
Yep.
Like
close that gap.
Buffalo, Gabriel Davis had 4 touchdowns. Like
yeah,
there's just no explanation for that.
He's tearing up everyone at the end of the year.
So each step they got to before their season ended, they were giving up air yards like everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think the combination of a receiver would be great because of the Tyreek thing. I hope you try to get one in the second, but because you get an edge rush and a corner, now I think your defense goes from mid-pack to like top 10 minimum.
Yeah.
You give Pat Mahomes a top 10 defense.
Mm.
Like that in itself, you just bank on Mecole Hardman taking a step, or you bank on
somebody.
Like Demarcus Robinson. I don't even know if he's still there. But.
Yeah, I don't think he is. Or Jahan Dotson, because I had them taking him. So how about him?
Yeah.
How about next? We got the Bengals coming in at 31. We got the Bengals taking there.
I was gonna give them a guard, most likely.
Yeah.
Or no, I was thinking guard, but I'll do Tyler Linderbaum, the Iowa center, the
Yep.
big beef patty.
Yeah. Big corn-fed motherfucker.
Yeah, because they did some stuff in free agency to kind of work on the line, but
Yep.
I think they got like Lincoln Tomlinson from San Fran.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you still need a center. They had like Billy Price or something, which is aging and wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But you got your franchise quarterback. You get a center.
Yep.
Hopefully, like he seems like the dude that you could plug in, and you got your center for 12 years. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good combination there.
because yeah, you don't want to. You want stability in that position. Like you
Yeah.
don't want your QB to have like 2, 3 centers in the same amount of years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. See, I went the exact opposite. I went D tackle. You know what I mean, guy flying up on the center. I just felt like that was probably the best position of best guy available there. You know what I mean? And it fills a position. They need a guy in the middle. So I took Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle at Georgia. Um, did you take him already? I don't know. Probably not. But either way, another good, fast Georgia guy.
I think he's
What's
one of
that?
my last available.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
my
so
draft's
that's what
probably
I got.
wrong, so he
Yeah.
could be getting picks right now or earlier. But
Yeah. He's good though.
we wrap up with the Rams pick
Yep,
traded to
going.
Detroit.
Yep. Who you got them taking?
I wanted to throw like Kenny Pickett there, but I don't think he's gonna make it just based off like the talent.
And
So
you
I'm
have him
gonna
going to
stick.
the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick Matt Corral
Matt
to
Corral.
Detroit.
What the hell? Matt Corral?
I'm not the biggest believer, but people are, and
That's Matt
I think
Corral.
strictly because they want.
He's the fifth best quarterback in this draft.
Uh, I
He's the
mean,
fifth.
I know we broke him down, but I
We
can't.
did.
I want. I think they're gonna take a quarterback.
Yeah. I
Just,
got them taking a quarterback too.
and
I got
I
them
don't
taking
think.
Desmond Ritter at
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
yeah, that's not a bad way to go because I didn't think it was gonna be like a Sam Howell or like something along the lines.
Yeah.
And I think they just stick their card with. Hopefully, that's their guy. But
Yeah. Yep. But either way, the Lions, yeah, we both got them quarterback last pick in the first round. I think it'd be a good pick for them. Sit behind Goff for a year, you know. But yeah.
a big draft.
So yeah, that was it. That was the draft. That was our mock draft. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Appreciate it. And yeah. We're gonna we'll look for
Get the
this graph. I'll try to
spreadsheet.
make a
Oh,
graphic. What's that?
we'll get the spreadsheet
Yeah, I'll
of the
try to make
picks.
something. Exactly. You can see all our picks. You can put your money on it. Go to Rhode Island, put your money on it. You can't do it in mass. So, but yeah, thanks for tuning in. Follow us on all platforms. Like, subscribe on
Yes, sir.
YouTube. Comment your picks.
GoPro.
Oh yeah, hit the link by GoPro. Help the cause. And we'll see you guys next time. Y'all be sweet. Peace. Cut.